I think that was either T-Christ or Thoth many years ago on RC. But anyway. So Rasmus Lernoff. Rasmus Lernoff created PHP. By the way, I finally found out why this happened. Because I've been wondering, because Rasmus openly says he hates programming, so I'm thinking, why did he write an entire programming language? Well, it turns out he had a shell account with an ISP, and he wanted to upload some scripts to run his website. And they said, no, we're not letting you upload scripts, we know what your programming's like. And so Rasmus went, okay, what about if I only upload one script? And they said yes. So he wrote one script, and he made every program that he actually would have written a function call that this one script had supported. And that explains a lot about PHP's global namespace. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make though is, okay, Rasmus hates programming, but Rasmus doesn't care about programming because he wants to be done and on to making things look good. And I can go to film for this because MBK, who sadly isn't here because he became a father 4 weeks ago and therefore is busy being sleep deprived and vomited on. No, really, that kid can projectile. But Mark Keating is my business partner at Chellicott, and we first started working together because he needed to do some web design stuff, and he didn't want to become a programmer, and I didn't want to become a designer. So, you know, Mark has never actually learned programming. He does the business, he does the finance, he does the admin, he basically does everything else, and leaves me and my team to get on with making the customers happy. And then occasionally I talk to customers and then Mark goes and calms them down again. The point is, Mark also cares about prettiness, and I think maybe having people who hate programming and care about prettiness, I think that might actually be kind of useful as a community. Because, you know, the whole thing of having everything put together just by programmers, that's worked out really well on the pretty front, hasn't it? No, it hasn't. Please bribe designers to help you with your next project. We're all bad at it. So, yeah. The fascinating thing is, I know of a number of places where their solution to this is they have a Java server, the Java server has all the business logic and acts as a web service, and then people's front-end PHP talks to it. And that way the PHP guys can mess around and be as architecturally unsound as they like, because all they have to care about is making it look good. And it's safe. They can't screw anything up, they've only got a defined set of web service calls. And funnily enough, I also know of a number of companies doing the same thing with Catalyst, and doing quite well with that. Because it means the Perl people write the code that works and runs the business, and the PHP people write the code that looks pretty. And, you know, the Perl people never have to look at the PHP unless bribed with large amounts of bear. I mean, it's serious, it's an effective model. And so you end up with a system that's pretty and usable and still robust. And I think that's fantastic. And yeah, okay, architecturally, it's not architecturally good. Who cares? Your users do not care if your code is beautiful. Your users do not care if your code uses design patterns. They care if they can actually use the damn thing, right? And I think maybe we need to think a bit more about this. So I claim stop PHP, but usable is the future of web development. You know, okay, yes, custom colors, rounded corners, Wank 2.0, but this is software people can actually use, and that's kind of cool. I'm afraid I don't have a clever link to the next title. I do have a bad HTTP joke, and, you know. Title 4. Yeah. Thank you, Dylan Sheeman, I hate you so much. Yeah, I had to look this one up. I don't really know anything about ferrets. I still don't know very much about ferrets. Wikipedia did provide some information though, and the answer is you can't. They are small, they are vicious, there is not enough meat on them. Some people still keep them as pets. Then again, some people talk to me, so, yes. However, ferrets are apparently really good ratters. I remember back when I used to hang out on Sis Admin Recovery. That's Usenet for those of you under 40. And they used to go, yes, ratters, yes, you can train ferrets to be ratters, so, okay, oh yes, and they smell. You have to remove the scent glands if you're going to keep them as pets. And somehow they still smell, seriously. Well, okay, maybe we could eat the rat. But no, I remember from Sis Admin Recovery, one of the guys used to say, hey, see Fuzzy spot rat, see Fuzzy be happy, see Fuzzy play with rat, see Fuzzy get upset toy broke, Sis Admin cleans up bits of rat. So there's probably not anything coherent enough left to actually eat. So that won't work either. Well, yes, okay, so far we have established that ferrets are fuzzy and bad-tempered. Okay, that's not going to work. But, apparently, ferrets can be trained as cable runners. Because they're skinny little furry bastards, yeah? So, I have an idea. You raise the ferret, you train the ferret to run cables, you get the ferret to run a fibre link to the nearest pizza place, and then you use the fibre link to order some actual food. Yeah, that wasn't strange at all, was it? Title 5, quickly before somebody notices. Why Modular Build is better than X-Util's Mate Maker. Ha, ha, ha. So the reason this is funny is I still use Modular Install. I also maintain possibly the most insane bit of Modular Install, which appears to have written by, I think it was originally written by ordering Tang in an afternoon while angry. Inking may have helped. I wish he hadn't. And better still, I appear to have required a commit bit to X-Util's Maker. So I'm going to be hacking on that as well. So I am now going to tell you why the thing I hate is better than all of the things I actually have commit bits to. Although I've not started committing to Maker yet because, well, I got my commitment just before the summer conference season started. Since the end of May, this will now be my 6th conference and I've been speaking at all of them. I haven't really been doing a lot except standing on stage talking rubbish to people and sleeping. However, okay, why is Modular Build better? Well, Modular Build, it was the first thing to handle Meta.yml, and it still has better support for it than anything else. Modular Build now handles the Meta 2.0 spec, which was worked out very nicely and is now JSON, because we're tired of YAML not being compatible with itself. And Modular Build supports my meta. And my meta is fantastic because my meta records what would have been in meta for this specific installation. So for the first time, we actually have a way of saying, this build distribution we installed, what were its exact dependencies, what exactly did it build against? Okay, it's still YAML, so machine readable, probably unless full seg faults, but still very cool. Okay, Modular Build has built-in double cover support. That's fantastic. That's the one thing I missed when I migrated off it in 2007. What I didn't miss was the fact that after that DIS class actually installed reliably. I'm not bitter, I just still hate it. And it has pod testing built in, which is fantastic. So you don't need directly /test pod.t with Modular Build, you just run build test pod. And these days, Modular Build now has an install net target. So it will go away to see if I can install your dependencies for you. And yeah, Modular Install was the first thing to have make install net. Oh yes, Modular Build doesn't require a make binary. So you can build and install pure Perl modules. You know, the ones you could just install via a tarball, yeah? And then when you need to compile stuff, Modular Build still doesn't need make, but that means it doesn't need to make the compilation. And at the German Perl workshop, sometimes going, hey, maybe this will be a really good thing for Windows, because then you don't need Make and it can still do all the compilation stuff. And the Windows sysadmins, literally 3 of them came up to me afterwards and went, that's very nice, but when it breaks we can't debug it. We're still sysadmins. If you're going to compile something, for crying out loud, use Make, we can debug that. We don't want to go through 20 files of object-oriented Perl to try and figure out what a compile failure is. Well, okay, so there is a pure Perl Make that is mostly Gmake compatible, and I want to play with that, see where we get with that. But the best thing about module build is it's actively maintained. It's actually had new features added in the 21st century. Though actually, MakeMaker has had a few added, but your basic problem is Schwern's been maintaining it for years. Schwern's a masochist. He's maintaining a Make file generator, and he hates Make. Seriously. But XUtils MakeMaker needed a maintainer, so he stepped up and did it. So he's a wonderful masochist, and I really do salute him. You know, he fundamentally spent 5 years maintaining a piece of software that he despised, so that all of your Perl programs would install. So if you ever meet Schwern at a conference, tell him he's insane and then buy him a drink, right? I, on the other hand, am a different sort of masochist. I actually like Make. And perhaps more importantly, once I get going with this, in traditional MSP style, I shall be writing up how to hack an XUtils MakeMaker, and starting to get some of the other people who like Make to help me do it. And once we manage to get that going and get an active community together, we should be able to get some progress without it driving another maintainer insane. Though, honestly, in the case of Schwern and me, I'm not sure whether it's the software drove us insane or we were insane to choose to maintain the software. But we'll see. Title 6. Patches welcome. Now, this was suggested because of a small amount of noise on Iron Man about if you don't document your code and help people fix bugs, you're a bad person and shouldn't have released it at all. What? Yeah, supporting your software is great. You really should try to support stuff you release if possible, but and you know, the Arch Linux maintainer will come and shout at you if you don't. But the point is, there's 2 models of open source contribution. Membership of the community can be likened to volunteer work. In that, you know, one of the first things I do when I get in front of the computer is I log on an IRC and I spend an hour trying to solve people's problems. Because it's fun. I volunteer for this happen. But open source can also be a donation. Publishing a piece of code and saying, here is a piece of code. It was useful to me. Therefore, I give it away to the world. Maybe it will be useful to somebody else. That's also fine. You don't have to make it beautiful. You don't have to document it. You don't have to even, you know, do anything with it afterwards. Sometimes what you're saying is, I am donating this piece of code. There are no strings attached, but you don't get anything else either. And that's fair enough, you know. So, alright, well, why does the no-tantrum side hate patches welcome? Because he thinks that patches welcome basically means I don't have time, I don't care, I don't think this is going to work. And basically, to a potential new contributor, what it means is go away. So I propose that we solve this problem by saying, well, volunteer instead. It's been working for me for years. And better still, well volunteered says, you should do this. We can't do it for whatever reason, but we do think it's cool. That's the well part. We think the fact that we want you to volunteer for this is because it would be cool if you did, and we will help you.